The female gaze trend is completely leaving men lost. Let's see what this is about.
Guys need to understand the difference between the male and the female gaze.
Looking at Duke Dennis from the female gaze, what gets me is that women who only like girls go crazy over him. I think that right there should tell you everything about him.
Originally, women were finding this very attractive in the comments, and now they're calling it creepy. But why?
So every day I'm getting closer and closer to feeling like I'm achieving unk status. See, I'm only 29, so I'm a little bit
Damn, I just turned 20 like 4 or 5 days ago, buddy.
in denial. Now I mean, but yo, these new words y'all be coming out with really be making me feel old. Like the other day I was texting one of my bros and he texted me IDGT. I looked at my phone and say, what?
IDGT? I don't even know what that means. And I'm
What? I
20.
literally texted him back, yo, bro, I don't know what that means. I had to search it on Google, everything. Google gave me something else. I had to say no in slang. Google, give me the acronym in slang. I don't get tired. And I just wondered why he ain't text that. I'm really out here feeling like a bro. And today's no different. I always knew that.
Nah, that's just niggas. It's one thing if it's like, I don't know, LMW, WYD, LOL, you know what I'm saying? But y'all niggas, that's something where like you got to be on some Kevin Gates time and even understand that.
Lady's perception of attractiveness was different from a man's perception on attractiveness, just off of the way that they judge each other. Like,
Right.
fellas, you ever heard a lady say, oh, she is so gorgeous, she is so pretty, and then you look and you're like, I'm not really seeing the attraction there. So the new phrase for that is called the female gaze. And people
Bro, what's up with why is everybody always coming up for new terms for like the same thing? It don't make no sense.
are going viral right now for explaining the female gaze, what they find attractive in men versus what men think they find attractive. Check this out right
Okay.
here.
Guys need to understand the difference between the male.
Yeah, this guy looks like he looks Max. He looks like he listens to Red Pill podcast, and he looks like he thinks a traditional man is the pillar of society, bro. He looks
And the
like one.
female gaze. A lot of men want to get shredded and look like Chris Bumstead. And they think when they get shredded and look like Chris Bumstead, the hoe should just be flooded in. If you look at top fitness influencers like Shizzy,
Bradley
D-Trend,
Martin,
most of their
Bradley's
audience
his name.
is 18 to 25-year-old
Men.
dudes.
Yeah.
I'd argue maybe 10% of their following is women. Now, I'm not saying these influencers made content with the hopes of just getting women. No, it's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you decide to go down the path of trying to look as swole as possible, thinking you're gonna get girls, that's not the actual best way.
Facts.
You see, that's how we value each other based off how swole we are, what's our bench, what's our deadlift, etc. But in reality, if you want to get some girls, you follow this method. For example, he never talks about his physique. He never talks about what supplements he's taking and his workout routine for his shoulders. You know what he does talk about?
His looks. He's showing
Mental
his
health.
looks.
You know what you do see? His dogs. His page is centered around mental health, dogs, loving yourself.
You know what's funny too about of this? You could say this is on some female gay shit, but you know what this really is? His page right here. You know all this is? It's called being a human. I'm tired of all you men thinking you can't have emotions. You can't show emotions. You can't show us side to side. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. It's literally called just being a human being. Just humanize yourself. You're more than your gender role. You're more than your gender. It's literally just called being a human being. That's all he is a human being who can tap into his masculinity, his femininity, and more importantly, his humanity.
Etc. And those are the things that women love. I
Yeah.
guarantee you his following is about 60 or 50% women easily. Do you
He's
see
a
the
good-looking
difference?
dude too, you know what I mean?
Bodybuilders, 18 to 25-year-olds, 90% men, versus this guy, probably more than half or half women and attractive ones. So if you're trying to do this content shit and you're mostly doing it for girls, do things for the female gaze, mental health, loving
Jesus.
yourself, cleaning, dog.
How is that? I don't understand though how that's for a female gaze though. Like that just sounds like a healthy person. It just sounds like a healthy person, bro. Bro, mental health, keeping yourself clean, taking care of yourself, grooming yourself, love. All of the why do we associate stuff like that with women? Like when you associate stuff like that with women, you dehumanize yourself as a man because you make it seem like things that every human being needs and does is something that is taboo or it's something that doesn't fit the role they've been given by society, bro. I don't this is retarded, bro. Like this this is just a normal human guy who seems balanced. This is what you call balance. This is what you call honesty. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men who be trying to act like men, that's fear. That's just a protection mechanism, bro. That's fear. Like, these conversations are stupid. Why are you doing stuff for a female or a gay? Why aren't you just doing stuff because you like to do it? I feel like a lot of adults or grown men, they just learned how to like pay bills and play adult. But they really just scare kids who put on a persona, or a lot of people just put on masks to hide from who they really are because they think people not going to accept them. That's all this is, bro.
Dogs, etc. I hope that cleared things up.
One thing that you have to understand as a man is the female gaze. What this is, a lot of guys get confused what's attracted to other men than what's attractive to girls. So a lot of guys end up doing things like growing a big scruffy beard, getting all big and bulky, just appealing to the look of other guys, what they think is attractive. Then these guys sit back and question like, why am I not getting any girls? Well, the reason why you're not getting any girls is because you don't appeal to the female gaze. The thing is, with the male gaze, you're appealing to women who specifically like that look, whether it's the big scrolly look, the scruffy beards and stuff like that. A female gaze is appealing to most women. That's why it's the universal way that every guy should try to model their looks after. This consists of being lean, having a clean look, you know, like mustache, goatee, or shorter beard. Simply just not doing too much with your look and kind of having that pretty boy aesthetic.
That is not what, that is false. That is false. Women like confidence. Women like to feel safe. Women like to feel fun. They like to feel at ease. They like to feel like the person that they're with actually likes them and that they they caught something. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to feel like they caught a fish that's not even worth nothing. That's what it is. It doesn't matter how you look. Look at Michael Jackson. Look at Prince. They do not look traditionally masculine by any means. Look at who's another nigga? Lil Uzi Vert, Timothy Chalamet, Tom Holland. There's so many different types of dudes that have gotten famous, rich, and attract a lot of women. And it comes down to how you wrap your gift. See, we all have been given a gift of life from God. It all comes to how do you wrap your gift? What's the difference between a Gucci belt and a normal belt? The logo, how you carry it. That's all it comes down to. All these other things are external things to try to suffice something that's internal. When you internally feel like, I'm not even going to say you're that guy, but just when you feel like you're a person worthy of love, affection, and you first give that to yourself, other people will reflect that back to you because life is just the greatest reflector. All this other stuff they're talking about will never fix the problem, which is why you can do everything they say. You can look max, you can gym max, you can aesthetic max, performative max, and it still won't work. At least not to get the woman you actually want. The woman you actually want is attracted to who you actually are. But if you're always trying to do things that are not you, then you could be in the room with the woman that's for you or the person that's for you, and you never even know because you can't even see them because your eyes aren't trained to see who you actually are and what's actually for you, but instead what somebody else told you you should be or think. That's the difference. That's how you find love. All this other stuff you're listening to, you'll be chasing something that's not even real.
About all the guys that these girls be simping over on social media.
Like, does he look like he has, no offense, but does he look like he gets the, like, if he's so confident, white tee, chains, the little muscles, the everything, does he looks like he attracts a bunch of beautiful women that are for him? It doesn't like work, that. Bro.
Michael B. Jordan. Remember Kelly Oubre. You got Keith Powers, Lando off All-American. These are all examples.
But not everybody can look like those people. Not everybody can get money like those people. Not everybody can get physiques like those people. Not everybody can get as well renowned and respected like those people. So what about you, a normal guy? What about you, a normal guy? If you can't get none of those things, then obviously that's not the way to do it. But you see, they lie to you and make it seem like the light, you need the light. But when you realize you are the light, you are God, you don't need to do none of this stuff, man.
Of dudes that fit that aesthetic. Most girls are not attracted to that big bulky dude with the long scruffy beard, bro, and just all types of nonsense tattoos. These things appeal to the male gaze, but when you appeal to the female gaze, you'll open yourself up to a broader amount of girls and just being universally attracted instead of being niche attracted.
No amount of money and no amount of muscles can unlame a weak personality. So yeah, people might flock around you once they actually talk to you and realize there's no real substance there. Yeah, people not gonna want to stick around. But this idea of the female gaze is kind of interesting, because if you're trying to get an insight of what the ladies see, this might get you a little bit closer to it.
This about to sound very gay of me, but I love when titties just... What a feeling!
They hit me with the crazy ad with Takis. What am I supposed to do with Takis, bro? What does the female and male gaze have to do with some funky ad Takis? I got some Takis right here too, and I'm talking about funky ad Takis. You see how that works?
And they don't even have to be big. I just saw this video of this woman with itty bitties in this very nice dress, and they were just sitting. Like, it's really a marvel, like something nice just to look at. And I love that I'm a woman, because I could look without being a creep, because ooh, when titty ain't nothing like a titty, and I swear for God.
A man that understands the female gaze will always build a following very fast and make a lot of money off of it. When you understand what type of videos you need to make, especially, it's really easy for men because they could just sit there and talk into the camera and women will be like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. But what's so genius about him is he understands that him having a very clean cut style, taking videos at the bookstore, look like he's well-mannered, going to get women like nobody's business. Him taking pictures, looking like a family man. He's just taking it. And then,
but see, that's not the only way, because then you got Future, then you got Duke Dennis, then you got Lil Yachty, then you got Lil Baby. You got all these dudes who don't like women at all. The way they talk, they obviously don't respect and appreciate women, and they still pulling millions. That should let you know it's not about pandering. These niggas be pandering. It's one thing if it's business and marketing, but for the guys out there who want to attract love and actually attract people who care about you, stuff like that, stop pandering to these people. Stop. If people only like you and you saying the thing that they want to hear, do they really like you, or do they just like what you bring or what you say to them? You want people to like you for you. So you shouldn't have to, in your state of which you are right now, if somebody doesn't like you for that, not what you're gonna be, not for how rich or famous, or not for the career, or not for the man you'll become one day, or for who you are today, if they don't love you for that, then they don't love you. That's what this is, man.
Even still showing a little bit of his body. You know what I'm saying? He looks good. He's well shaped. But the crazy and the best thing about him is he doesn't have a six pack. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in great shape. Like, he doesn't need it. Like, he has 1 million followers. And he has more followers than men.
Yeah, this is stupid.
In real life. And the only reason why
I don't even need to finish this video, honestly. This video is stupid. I'm not saying shout out to Boogie, but I mean Buggy. I said Boogie, but this the topic in itself is dumb, because anytime you put your trust in the external to fix something internal, you always lose. You'll always be wrong. You'll always be disappointed, and that's coming out of a topic like this, talking about the external. You'll always lose. So, yeah, man.